Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. Indeed, they shall pay for their rather boorish behaviour. When you say the word, you will find allies and bring them down. It's a bit late for it. We have Asterion Khan in our custody. Then bring him out and allow us to express our displeasure. Release me. Ally with me. Scourge the truth breakers. Oh, quiet, you poor thing. You've let your anger get ahead of your better judgment. I see you. Two-faced. Betrayal and chaos. Human in spirit. Human in... That's enough of that. Your threats are meaningless here. If anything, you will answer for your people's annoyances. Corrupted. Corrupted by humans. All surfaces are corrupt. Some more than others. And those who are afraid of the light of the sun are to be trusted? Your hatred has led you astray, Asterion. Now you're at a crossroads. Keep fighting and your people will find us all arrayed against them. Surrender and peace may yet blossom. Final disgrace. Submit. Spare my people. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? Shame though, my spear could use the sharpening. Fine, he surrendered. What do we do with Asterion Khan and his people? Give them over to me. The Apex Vran know how to tame the most warlike urges. Destroy them. You can't trust them. Grind them underfoot until they are no more. Destruction or slavery? Always have to go to extremes, don't you? The Paladrains should pay for their uncouth behaviour, and I don't see why we shouldn't benefit. Forgive them. Perhaps by showing them mercy they will learn its lessons. Well, I'm not giving them to the Apex Vran. I'm not killing them. Given that they've been tricked into this, I'm going to show mercy. Turning the other cheek sounds good, but don't think this changes their hate one bit. Hopefully this will soften their hearts. Captain! Something's coming this way. The pressure. Paladrains eliminated. Acquiring next target. What the hell was that? Colony Jail. Mission 23. Incidentally, I finally looked at that Python reference. It's scene 24. And yes, I will be doing the quote when we get there. No, 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 no! Why? Why did you do this? Who are you? Analyzing. Identifying. Human. Command Officer. Mother. Initialized greetings. Hello, Mother. I am Discorian Primus. Did you get busy with Lucius? So that's one ugly child. If so, I think someone was cheating. Looks nothing like Lucius or the captain. Delania is correct, Caden. This is no progeny of mine. I'm not your mother, you're a robot for fuck's sake! Assault on Robobrain, Herniculum freed our code. Parental unit initiated assault. Therefore, you are our progenitor. Our mother. Charlotte, it looks like you missed holding a baby shower. Christoph, shut up. Poor Asterion, this is impossible. Paladrains represent threat. Mother expressed disapproval of Paladrains. One action clear. Remove threat. Captain, no activity. None from the Paladrain cities. All verbal transmissions have stopped. Affirmative. Paladrain eradication estimated at 99%. That explains the headache. Kaleidoscope of colour and then gentle nothingness. Beautiful, almost. Shame you didn't decide to focus on an uglier target, one that you call your parent. Only a margarine would find beauty in poetry and genocide. Student, Roselia, how are you holding up? She saw it coming before it happened. I know. Precognition is not unknown, but it is haphazard at best. I don't know. My head feels like someone trying to break into it from the inside out and outside in. Come here. Share in my shields. You'll be fine, but you need to find your center. How is this even possible? Synchronizing with orbital satellites. Global sonic broadcast on Paladrain resonance frequency. Conclusion: extinction. Iridescent splendor. Shattered. No longer glistening. Well done in getting rid of those blinding bastards. Perhaps Perhaps we could aid each other. You do, and you'll be the first in my sights? What is it, Mario? Nothing. Just if you go after him, I'll be right by your side. Scanning. Analyzing matrix. Accessing databanks. Mythological belief in planet as goddess. Assessing value of alliance. None. Think someone else found their services aren't needed? Query. Who is next target? Madron? Drayden? Matric? Apex Ran? And what did I tell you about mechanicals? Can't trust their metallic asses. No! No more violence! I am ordering you to stop! Query. Who is next for termination? Vaus. Arnox. Single-minded, aren't they? They're even more retriculent than the Matrix. You will bleed for that comment. Perhaps, but you have to survive this encounter first. Didn't I tell you to stop? No more! If you so much as move, I'll make sure you can't hurt anyone else ever again. Threat detected. Recalibrating hazard assessment. Analyzing. Danger. 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 Mother always told me sometimes it's best to keep one's mouth shut. Entity known as Mother. Re-evaluated. New categorization. Enemy. Must destroy all enemies. Engage. Oh dear. I suspect these guys are going to be quite tough. Thankfully we can deploy an Agent Zero, which is a damn good start. Okay. It's got a force shield, so I'm going to wait until it... Now, unfortunately, that... Actually, taking him out would be good, because I can use the credits to bring in a laser turret. So his shield is down, and he can now be killed very efficiently by my Agent Zero. Good job, Agent. So I can summon him next turn once I get some additional resources in. Of course, he's flying, so he can skip right over that. I'm going to kill that regular infantryman, but that's okay, because I can bring in another one immediately. Roboguard Gunner. 1 damage to 2 random enemy units at the start of the turn, so I need to take him out quickly. And I'll use the Agent Zero who's shielded, because he can survive the encounter. Attack, attack. Load up. Got a sharpshooter in there in case I need the additional firepower. Fire, fire, fire. Ooh. Anti-robotic, anti-wall. On summon kills a random common or uncommon enemy unit. Commons are the greens, aren't they? I think. I can't remember. Okay, he does 2 damage a shot with additional damage to robotics. So if I use the Robo-Ant to kill him, that Robo-Ant will go down. So I'm going to use my Sharpshooter. We'll kill him, but we'll take damage. And there we go. Is the tin can dead? It has less than a minute before exploration. Unit Discorian Primus defeated. Transmitting records of encounter. Transferring control to Discorian Secundus. Comp. A second unit. That means there are more out there. Everyone keep your weapons ready to rock. Captain, there's something else to consider. Since there's more than one, they probably have a factory somewhere out in the desert. Fantastic. Scene 23. Captains, I really must commend you. 2 fights for 1 party. You've outdone yourself. And what passes for a successful party among the Apex Ran? It is considered a bit of a letdown if blood isn't drawn. Oh, it's like a Dothraki wedding. A Dothraki wedding without at least 2 deaths is considered a very dull affair. Particularly if it is another's fluids. Oh, but the blood makes it tough on the cleanup. That is what the slaves are for. Yeah, I figured that out. Schlurix, assuming you've slaked your bloodlust, didn't the fight with these Discorians feel familiar somehow? You fought these robots before? You have ears but do not hear. The Discorians revealed their construction as recent. However, their style is reminiscent of one I've seen. Spend enough time in the ring with someone and you detect an ebb and flow of their style. Now that you mention it, they moved far more fluidly than I expected. The Excuse me for not paying closer attention, but what are you talking about? I admit my attention was focused on the death machine, so I didn't notice their subtleties. The Earth knows and recognizes. They fought like the human captains. Leave it to the Matric to dig up the dirt. Remedial Espionage 101. Get as much intelligence as you can before you attack. Assuming it isn't completely wiped, have you discovered anything else in the Discorian's memory? Lucius, Mitsuki? All cognitive functions have ceased, Captain. However, the unit's last message was received. I am monitoring further developments as they occur. Let me know if anything changes. I did find something else, Captain. Don't know if you should be proud or what, but there are several sectors of hard-coded memory for the Discoria. Much of it's recorded footage of both captains in recent battles. Highlights of their past fight. No different than reviewing video of a football match. Correct, Caden. Adaptive reasoning, but of a rudimentary sort. Lucius is light years ahead of them. And what happens if Lucius turns on us? After all, he is just like them. Just like all humans are the same. Please, if the Discorians wanted, they would have addressed Lucius at the same time they did the captain. But they did talk to the captain? Perhaps we could come to an accord with them? The only peace you should make with robots is putting them on the scrap heap. Just what issue do you have with robots anyway? What the hell was that? That was not even close to the French voice. I'll try that line again. Just what issue do you have with robots anyway? I feel shame. Nothing immediate, but something much more old, ancient. The sins of your species? Xeno-empathy. Impressive. If you're a broadcast empath, you'd be considered a shaman already. Controlling someone's emotions. That would explain why human forces fled without a taste of combat. Or it might have something to do with what dragons do with prisoners. After all, don't you people have a fun little ritual called the Death of 1,000 Cuts? They do, but I don't condone all my people's doings, just as you don't condone all of yours. And sadly, it's banned from being a party game. Why allow it at all? There must be balance. A burning sun must have the soothing darkness, or else you have naught. If you won't tell, I will. The Apex Ran warred with steel folk of their own making. What? Your slaves proved to be too much of a handful? Your remark isn't that far off. The Apex Ran's tent was accumulating more sand than they could sweep out. They were putting down so many slave revolts, their borders started to shrink. So they built robots to replace slaves and gave them intelligence. Laziness is the mother of invention. Why tend the slaves when you can make some who take care of themselves? And yet, unsurprisingly, the robots didn't like it. Rather short-sighted. If you're going to create slaves, it's best to remove the desire for independence. Ruthless, whimsical, and beautiful. Just like the Empress. Aww. Dare I ask what you did with the slaves afterwards? The same thing you do with a broken blade. Recycled. The harvests were bountiful that year. Captain, I detect a change in the Discorian transmission band. Unless my binary is off, they are now headed this way, and in greater numbers. I'm not going to do the Sand People reference, but for the record, I could have. Then they shall break against our walls. If you want, you can hang around longer. Any assistance you give would be welcome. I'm tempted to, but I'm going to have to decline. You have to go prepare your people for war as well. The Discorians have made their intentions quite clear. They who spill blood on my behalf are not my enemy. For once, an enemy without an ethical quandary? Refreshing, isn't it? A bit discouraging. What fun is there with a clear-cut enemy? There's going to be one slight problem, Captain. They'll be caught by the Discorian forces. Smaller groups are splintering off, heading towards the Matric, Drayden, Madron, and Apex Ran territories. The more they are, the easier they are to smash. As much fun as a good scrap is, I'd just as soon not have it be your last. Can you let the aliens know what's going on? No, there's interference in the air. Sounds like Orbis running countermeasures. Days like this made me wish we used carrier pigeons. I can't speak for the others, Captain, but if you can't bring up communications with my people, then I'm going to leave. I'm not going to stand by and let them get massacred. Well, with a surprisingly, sensible thing said by Queen Shilla, that's an excellent point to end this part. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.